terminals, and oil infrastructures to include jackets that house wellheads, and most importantly, we are monitoring to ensure that culprits are prosecuted by agencies responsible for doing so. We believe that these lines of actions will definitely make significant impact in boosting crude oil output for our nation. For the events of the week, during the week under review, troops neutralized 106 terrorists and arrested 164 persons across the theaters of operation. Troops also arrested 32 perpetrators of oil theft and rescued 103 kidnapped hostages during the week. In the South-South, troops denied oil theft of an estimated sum of about 800 million naira. Additionally, troops recovered 125 assaulted weapons and 1,522 assaulted ammunition. This includes 41 AK-47 rifles, 24 locally fabricated guns, and 623 rounds of 7.62 millimeter NATO ammunition, among other items recovered. Troops in the Niger Delta area, they discovered and they destroyed 20 dug-out pits, 24 boats, and 34 storage tanks, as well as 56 cooking ovens, among others, during the week. Troops also recovered over 800,000 liters of stolen crude oil, as well as over 121,000 liters of illegally refined ATO, popularly known as diesel, and 450 liters of DPK, popularly known as kerosene. Now, let me take you through our various operations, beginning with the Northeast, where we have Operation Having Pay. The troops of Operation Having Pay recorded the following activities during the period under review. The troops recorded the surrender of more terrorist combatants and their families. These surrenders were recorded in Bama, Goza, Dikwa, and Kalabage local government areas, all in Borno State. Significantly, one of the Chibok girls was also rescued as a result of ongoing operations. She and 300 rescued women that were in terrorist captivity have all been handed over to the Borno State government. Additionally, troops conducted offensive operations in Gamburungala and Ingazai local government areas of Borno State. They also conducted raids on terrorist hideouts in Jiri and some local government areas of Adamawa State. Furthermore, our troops arrested terrorists in Gedam local government area of Yobe State. Overall, the troops of Operation Having Pay neutralized 41 terrorists, arrested 27 persons, and rescued 16 kidnapped hostages during the period under review. The troops also recovered 17 AK-47 rifles, 360 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammunition, and 195 rounds of 7.62 millimeter NATO ammunition, among others. Now we can move to the North Central, beginning with Operation Safe Haven. The troops of Operation Safe Haven conducted clearance operations in Bandits local government area of Plateau State. They also sustained the momentum against violent extremist activities within their area of operation. Overall, the troops of Operation Safe Haven neutralized 7 violent extremists, arrested 31 persons, and rescued 11 kidnapped hostages during the week. They also recovered 19 AK-47 rifles, 12 fabricated pistols, and 243 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammunition, among others, during the week. Going deeper into the North Central is Operation Wild Stroke. The troops of Operation Wild Stroke recorded the following during the period under review. The troops rescued kidnapped hostages in Lukani and Akwanga local government areas of Taraba and Nasarawa states, as well as Kefi local government area of Nasarawa state. The troops conducted raids to violent extremist hideouts in Adobola and Bari local government areas of Taraba state. Furthermore, troops conducted fighting patrols in Katsina Allah local government area of Benue state. Overall, the troops of Operation Wild Stroke neutralized 5 violent extremists, arrested 18 of them, and rescued 28 kidnapped hostages during the period under review. The troops also recovered 2 AK-47 rifles, 2 fabricated guns, and 42 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammunition, among other items recovered. We can now cross over to the northwest, where we have Operation Daji. The troops of Operation Daji recorded the following during the period under review. The troops conducted offensive operations to Malumfashi, Kankara, and Damusa local government areas of Katsina state. The troops of Operation Daji further conducted offensive operations to sustain the momentum in Zamfara and Sokoto states. Overall, the troops of Operation Daji neutralized 22 terrorists, arrested 23 suspects, and rescued 32 kidnapped hostages during the period under review. The troops of Operation Daji also recovered 2 AK-47 rifles, 9 fabricated rifles, and 73 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammunition, among other items recovered during the week. Going deeper into the northwest is Operation Wild Punch. The troops of Operation Wild Punch recorded the following during the period under review. The troops foiled a kidnapping incident in Munya and Tafa local government areas of Niger State. They also arrested violent extremists and their cohorts in Okene area of Kogi State. Furthermore, troops on patrol arrested suspicious characters in Abuja Municipal Area Council environs, as well as in Kwali Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Overall, the troops of Operation Wild Punch neutralized 8 terrorists, arrested 20 suspects, and rescued 12 kidnapped hostages during the period under review. The troops also recovered 1 AK-47 rifle and 26 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammunition, among other items recovered during operations. Let's now move to the south-south, where we have Operation Delta Safe. The troops of Operation Delta Safe maintained the momentum against the activities of crude oil theft. Overall, the troops of Operation Delta Safe recovered over 802,000 liters of stolen crude oil, as well as over 121,000 liters of illegally refined ADO and 450 liters of BPK. Additionally, the troops discovered and destroyed 20 dollar pits, 24 boats, 34 storage tanks, 56 cooking ovens, 22 vehicles, and 36 illegal refining sites, among other items destroyed and recovered during the week. The troops apprehended 32 perpetrators of oil theft, and some involved in violent extremist activities in the course of the operations during the week. Now to the southeast, where we have Operation Udoka. The troops of Operation Udoka recorded offensive operations that were conducted to Ingibia and Toli local government areas of Imo State and Abad North local government area of Abia State, among others. Overall, the troops of Operation Udoka neutralized 3 terrorists, arrested 22 of them, and rescued 4 kidnapped hostages during the week. They recovered 31 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammunition, among other items recovered during the week. Now, all the recovered items in the course of the operations this week, the arrested suspects and the rescued hostages were handed over to relevant authority for further action, including prosecution. Now, in summarizing, I will say that this brief will be incomplete without a word on the much talked about planned nationwide strike. Essentially, I will say that there are several factors to examine in the planned nationwide strike. Nationwide protest. It is good to examine the motivation. Is this protest motivated by opposition politics? Is this protest motivated by independent parties? Is this protest motivated by sovereign interference? Or is this protest motivated by terrorist groups? Also, is this protest motivated by any numbers of organizations that have fed on the frustrations of Nigerians to create this situation. I would say that for us in the military, the Constitution is clear as to how and when the military gets involved and our responsibility to the nation. On the other hand, I will further say that while citizens have a right to peaceful protest, they do not have a right to mobilize for anarchy and unleash terror. It is easy to see that the contemporary context of the planned protest is to shadow the happenings in Kenya, which I must say is violent, and add that it remains unresolved. Already, we have detected some unscrupulous elements bent on hijacking the planned protest with the aim of making it violent. Many are therefore following in ignorance. For instance, there are indications that if you possess a smartphone, if you possess a car, if you possess a shop, if you own a house, or even use air conditioning in your house, you have been labeled a target. Other targets that have been labeled include places of worship, businesses, markets, ethnic groups, and members of other political parties, among other items and areas targeted. Accordingly, the level of violence being envisaged can only be described as a state of anarchy. The armed forces on its part will not stand by and allow anarchy to befall our nation. This is because we have seen wars and have witnessed anarchy in countries in which we have operated, particularly during the times of IPOB or during our peacekeeping operations in various countries. I believe that some people out there may fantasize about war or state of anarchy, thinking that it is like what they see in the movies. I assure you that war or a state of anarchy is not what in the movies. It involves real people, real situations, and real life. A situation of anarchy or war should not be fantasized. People lose loved ones and everything they toil for or possess in the course of war or anarchy. And I will put it simply by saying that horrible and ugly things happen in such situations. We must never, as a people, bring it upon ourselves. On the whole, it must be said that the timing and the present atmosphere of hardship in the country is different from other times when protests were held in the past in this country. It must also be said that if you ignite the fire, there is no telling how far that fire will burn. We must allow cool heads to reign and give the government the opportunity to further remedy the situation and make our nation flourish again. Thank you very much.
You're on live to GTV Africa, live from Defense Headquarters. You've just been listening to Major General Buba. One thing that is very expected of the security outfit at this moment is the issue of the protest that is coming, and the military has just make a stand known to Nigerians that the military will not watch while anarchy prevail.
Okay,
Well, let's listen to
it's
Prime
no
Minister
longer
and
news.
narrate.
The President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, gave a mandate to the Chief of Defense Staff to ensure that the oil output for our nation is increased to optimal. Accordingly, the military has taken various steps in compliance with that mandate. And some of the steps include a unified command structure where all the security agencies will function under. That structure is commanded by the military. Additional lines of action that have been taken include ensuring the transparency of the international oil companies operating in the region, ensuring credible metering of the crude oil that passes through the pipes, as well as reinforcing surveillance of the oil infrastructure deployed across the Niger Delta region, particularly looking at jackets are those structures that house wellheads, looking at the loading terminals, and also vessels. Other areas being examined and then reinforced at the point of loading and the point of destination of the vessels, and very importantly is to galvanize the support of the local community as well as stakeholders in the oil sector. And I will add, very, very importantly, is to ensure that culprits that have been arrested are prosecuted. These are all the actions that we are taking since receipt of that directive from the President to the Chief of Defense Staff. And we believe that if we follow through with this, surely and definitely we will record increased output in the crude oil production of our nation so that our economy can receive a boost. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Good morning, General. Good morning, senior officers, distinguished colleagues. Good morning, everyone. Despite the commendable efforts of the military and other security agencies in tackling the menace of terrorism and banditry in the country, a former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable IPOB recently called on the President to outsource the fight against terrorism to military defense contractors and other missionaries. In his opinion, he said the conventional Nigerian security architecture today cannot tackle this terrorism and other forms of insecurity we have in the country. So I want to know the position of the military authorities on this. Thank you.
Yes.
Good morning, General. My name is Buba. So concerning the protests, I'd like to actually, considering some of the intelligence that the military has received, that the protest will be hijacked with lead to violence. Are you? What if there is a misconception about this, and it's just one of the ways to express the grievances of the citizens, because the situation is not, or the country is not good for some, and I feel it's their right, and not to preempt that it's going to be violent as it is being alleged.
Okay, sir, yes.
Good morning, General. Well, just still on the protest, just to find out at what point, because we know that primarily it is the responsibility of the Nigeria police, to indeed handle issues like protest. So at what point do we expect to see the military on the streets?
Okay. I would say that
Let me give you opportunity to hear the answers to the
the
questions.
content of this planned protest is to shadow what is happening in Kenya. And I would add that what is happening in Kenya in terms of the protest, one, it is violent. Two, it remains unresolved as we speak now. So, deducing from that, and based on what has been gathered, there are plans by unscrupulous elements to hijack this protest and make sure that it turns violent. When it turns violent, I want to tell you what we have seen as will likely happen. Indeed, we need to count our blessings. Some are blessed, but they don't know they are blessed. Based on status, if you have a smartphone, if you have a car, you have a home, you have a business, you label an account. For those who have shops, markets, for some who are living in other parts of the country will be attacked because they are living in another part of the country. People will be attacked for belonging to opposite political party. Believe me, when this happens, it is nothing but a state of anarchy, lawlessness. So that is why I say that while the protesters have a right by the Constitution to protest. They do not have a right to galvanize for the unleashing of terror. They don't have that. We have seen this in our operations in Ecuador. When we went to Sierra Leone and Liberia, we have seen this in other parts of the world when we carried out peacekeeping operations. The military will not stand by and allow anarchy to befall our nation. It is our constitutional responsibility to make sure that that doesn't happen. Some think that it is like when you watch Nollywood or whatever. That is film. In real life, people stand to lose everything. I don't need to speak too much. Go to IPOB. Just go to IPOB. You will see people that had money, rich houses, they are living inside tents. Just go to IPOB. You don't need to go too far. So I think that is that. We must allow cool heads to reign, and we must give the government an opportunity to further remedy the situation and make our country to flourish again. We must not bring down the roof. We must not bring down the roof. Thank you very much. Now to the military and the opinion of some that we should bring mercenaries to support the military. I will just leave it at the point of opinion of that person. I will just leave it at the point of opinion of that respected person. That is his view, and he's entitled to it. But what I can tell you is that the armed forces of Nigeria is operating in multi-fronts, conducting operations. We are going after the center of gravity of the terrorists in those various theaters. We are finding them, we are flushing them out, and we are taking them off the battlefield. We continually destroy them and dismantle their military capability, their administrative capability, and their logistic capability. We are taking out their leaders, their commanders, their foot soldiers, as well as their collaborators. This we have been doing day in, day out, and have significantly degraded the terrorists, even though they remain active within this area. Now to one more question, which is what question is that?
At what point will the military come in?
I think I've
It's
answered
supposed to
that.
be
The constitution is very clear. The military constitution is very clear as to when we come, when police is over, when we are invited to come in, we come in. So, but for now, we are carrying out what is called situational awareness. We are monitoring so as to know what to do when we are eventually brought in. And if we are brought in from the get-go, we go right in. What we need is the invitation. That's what come. Yes, I think I answered all the questions. Thank you. Can we rise for?
expecting that the military are going to do the bid of protecting citizens, even as Nigerians are expecting.
May the souls of our departed heroes rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
I just want to talk about some administrative things. Please, officer.